it played in my mind, but in the end of the day, like I don't want to delay my life by a year. Do you know what I mean? Like that's there's a year of your life where you're sort of just putting off something just for the sake of the situation. Like I'd rather just get it done. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just, and that's not me saying I'd just rather get university done because I don't want to do it, because I want to do university so bad. It's something you sort of build your life up to, sort of what you want to do your entire life. But like with uni, it's just something I wanted to just, I don't want to put it off a year because I want to get into what I want to do as quickly as possible. Hello and welcome back to the Talking Head podcast.
If you don't know who we are, every week we get new voices talking about a different subject around mental health.
This podcast may contain sensitive subjects and vocabulary that has been shown to provoke a reaction.
But know that all efforts have gone into making sure it's as helpful to everyone as possible.
As always, we appreciate all the love and support towards each and every episode.
Sharing does make people listen.
And listening sparks conversation.
Let's get talking.
Right. All right.
You're doing the jingle, eh?
I'll do the jingle. If you get the guitar,
okay,
we'll do
just
the jingle
do like the
together.
fastest thing, just the news. Just do that.
And now, news.
There you go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to the Talking Head podcast. Welcome back. It's episode 11. How are we here? Episode 11. That's mental. Right. It's great to be here. Great to sort of be alive, really, in a time that's so crazy and mad like this. I'm joined again by a resident on the podcast. I've described him as a neighbour before, and that was the wrong term to use. He's more of a resident, right? More of a squatter, really. It's sort of an urban womble. He's here. His name. We all know it now. We all know it. And if you don't, then I'll be disappointed. It's Lewis Hill. Hello. How you doing?
Hello. I'm good, thank you.
I'm good. How have you spent your week?
What day are we on? It is Thursday, isn't it? Monday, did a driving lesson, day off, and then the rest of the week I've been working.
So what's been the positive? What's been the positive of that week?
A positive. The driving lesson was good, actually.
Oh.
Enjoyed that. That was
That's
a
all right.
good laugh. Well, it was a good laugh because everyone just said cockhead, and
Not just
carried
cockhead. You described it as absolute cockhead.
absolute cockhead. Yeah, that was
Which makes it
That
10
was
times
the-
better, I think.
Yeah, and then the positive was just just nice to feel good about driving places.
Yeah.
So,
No, we're sort of. Lockdown
Yeah.
sort of coming back. It's looming back, but we're all going through it. We're all going through it together. My best of the week would be. I've had actually quite a few bests, but you know what the best would be, and it's sort of. It's something that would. I don't know if it's. I'm going to say it anyway. So the thing that's lit up my week has been leaving work, which was sort of a weird, sort of sad, happy thing. Great album by Circawaves, by the way, if you've not listened to it. Honestly, it's a weird thing leaving work after working there for 2 years, almost working full time, so working 5 days a week, and sort of, although it's a company that changes all the time, it was sort of weird to sort of leave that group of people. I had a really lovely send off. We sort of went out on a night out beforehand, and then obviously I left like a week later. It was really lovely, and I enjoyed my time there. Might be coming back, so it might not be the end yet. But yeah, and it was a nice sort of thing to sort of leave there.
Return
sort
of the Mac.
Yeah, exactly. Return of the Mac. Great tune. And potentially maybe come back one day. But I'm sort of moving on to the next adventure, which is sort of leading us on to today's topic: uni,
Like Tom Syndicate.
university. Why did I sound like Tom Syndicate then?
Next adventure for them. Vulgar.
Shut up! Shut up! I don't go scamming people with CSK Lotto, so that's not
He got
me.
accused of raping, didn't he?
I know. I heard about that, but he's not.
Did
He's
anything
not.
come of
I don't
that?
think. I don't know.
No, it's too
I don't
innocent,
think,
isn't
no.
it?
Yeah, I don't think he could. But
I don't
then
think he could, no. Not with that quiff.
no. Right.
Stamp it long nose, done it.
Oh, come on,
Sorry,
mate.
Stamp,
I bet
sorry,
£6.
Stamp. Sorry. Sorry, Stampy, if you're listening.
He's
not
there.
listening.
He's there. Oh.
He's not listening. He's not listening. He's in his dungeon.
Come on, mate, don't disrespect Stampy. He was part of
Sorry, yeah.
all our childhood. Right.
Big
Okay.
part
So
of mine.
moving on to today.
Big part of mine.
Moving on to today's topic. I've just Stampy Longhead looks up.
Oh God! If you're listening,
I have to bleep that out because it's not an insult, but it's sort of.
I have to use Redstone to record an album. Didn't work.
Didn't work, but it would have been great if it did. Moving on to today's topic, university. We're both about to go. We're both 18. We're both about to go to university. Bit of a mad time. But before we do go into it, I have something to share with the viewers. Sort of sad in a way, because we are sort of going on a bit of a hiatus, a very short hiatus. It's just so we can sort of readjust to uni, get used to that, sort of come back bigger and better than ever. We've got so many plans, so many people plan to come onto it. It's going to come back in a way bigger format. We're going to come back with so much more energy. I mean, we provide energy anyway, but sort of coming into a new environment, it will just be sort of this imagined version of the podcast, coming back with the best of the of this sort of version, coming back with new formats. We're going to try it all out, and yeah, it should be crazy. And we've got some exciting things happening, some exciting things in the work. I won't want to talk about them right now because sort of they're still in the work. It's still sort of sort of coming about and stuff like that. But when I can, I will mention them because they do deserve to be mentioned. But yeah, next week will be the last podcast in the series, and we're sort of going to just go off with a bang. And next week will be sort of a special episode. And basically, I don't want to speak too much about it. But we're going to get. It's just going to be special. It's going to be special. And
not to spoil it, but it's a fireworks display at Doncaster Dome.
Oh, mate, why do you have to fuming? The amount of money I spent on that as well. Is it in the dome or outside the dome?
Mario Balotelli's bathroom.
Oh, in the ice rink.
What the fuck was that reference?
It was. I mean, it made sense.
It's niche. Also, I'd just like to say, can we have some feedback on this podcast? Because this is the first time I've done one of this. Like, is people sick of hearing my voice? Because I will go.
Oh yeah, no. Why not? I do get feedback from individual episodes. I do. Yeah. Why do you seem so surprised?
Sorry.
No. Obviously, so we've had sort of.
What, did you like your nan commenting?
Oh well, I've had my nan said stuff. My nan's enjoyed your presences.
Don't let her listen to these.
She listens to every single one. Yeah, I know.
She's met me as well. I think I've met you now, haven't I? I've met both you now.
Yeah, she'll be happy to have a sort of a name dropped. Sort of.
She will remember me.
She will. No, yeah, no. Yeah, I do get messages, and sort of people have responded to different episodes in different ways, and sort of the way they've responded to this one is sort of a fresh break from sort of the serious shit that goes on. So
that's good.
It's great to sort of keep them up and sort of keep them there because you can't get too serious, and also sort of when we are this age and sort of we can't preach too much. We don't really know too much, so it's nice to have sort of an episode where we can sort of just laugh around and sort of have a basically a dust around basically. But yeah, no. Moving on to today's topic, university. Big thing for both of us, and sort of going into it. I do want to read out some figures actually, which are sort of related, but sort of one related to the context of today's subject, but nevertheless, I need reading out because they are very important. So I was actually I sort of I've left work now. I've got a bit more free time, so I was watching This Morning, a great program with the Scoff. And why are you wearing those glasses inside?
I don't know.
You've just decided just to try and knock my concentration.
I wanted to see how long I'd wear them before you noticed, but then you look straight.
Lasted about a second. So the problem was you caused too much movement on my camera. Just sort of get away with it. Let's talk about this.
This actually sponsored by Monocle Eyewear. Get your pair today. Use code TalkingHeads. 1%.
It's quite serious what I'm about to talk about. So if you can refrain from these comments for about 5 seconds, it would be appreciated. And then we can go back to the jokes about monocles. So basically, I was watching this morning, and they were talking about mental health, and it was more about sort of the Calm campaign, which is the campaign against living miserably, which is something I've seen advertised quite well. Sort of, I've seen a lot of train stations I've gone to. Sort of, it's all there. It's brilliant, and they're doing a great job with it. And something that was sort of mentioned is sort of obviously Philip talks about his journey, but also some figures were read out, and actually the sort of report came after the suicide rate in for men in England and Wales in 2019 was the highest it'd been for 2 decades. So that's from 2000, and sort of the 2001 was due to the crash and sort of the economic problems that were going on there. But it is quite concerning thinking with the coronavirus which just happened. We are sort of expecting that number maybe to possibly go up again, just with the sort of job losses that are going on, and it's very, very difficult to sort of get your head around and sort of accept. But more than ever now, we do need to be there for each other. The reason I made this podcast was sort of to really sort of cheer myself up and sort of get myself talking in a way, and force conversations and with people, and sort of it gave me a sort of something creative to do as well, and gave me something to talk about. And speaking to someone that sort of had those thoughts and sort of been in situations where you could sort of add to the statistic, you need to definitely just talk to people. So if anybody sort of, in fact, if you're not even feeling like that, you need to be speaking to people that you potentially could be, or just you have any sort of inkling, just don't hold back. A second might be too late. So just speak to your mates, speak to people that you even know. You might not even have to be mates. Speak to your family, speak to anybody, because it does really go a long distance, and sort of just conversations go a long way now, especially in a time of isolation. They go a long way. So the exact statistic registered for suicides last year was for males was 5,691 people. That's just men. And in fact, no, sorry, 5,691 was the overall, and then 75% were men. Sorry, so I got that one a bit wrong, but still massive numbers, and really unfortunate numbers. And it really does sort of rain home sort of how big the issue is. That's not a worldwide thing as well. That's just England and Wales. It's not even Scotland or anything. It's not Ireland or anything. That's just England and Wales, and in one single year. And it's awful. So do get talking, because we do need it more than ever. And a lot of people have said that the podcast has helped, and if there are people listening that you feel like they have no one to sort of speak to, message the Instagram, message sort of my account, taylor.caddick, and whoever you are, might never have had a conversation in our lives. You might be opposite side of the world. I'm always free to talk, and I don't think anybody can really say that they're too busy to sort of have a conversation with somebody. That doesn't exist. And just sort of before we move on to today's topic, so the Calm campaign, the campaign against living miserably, did a campaign that they put up this massive billboard, which was grow a pair. They just put grow a pair on a massive billboard, and on either side they had ears. Rather than obviously bollocks, which sort of really sets. It's a really clever thing to do, but really sends off sort of the right images, and especially with men, sort of like that term. A lot of men have heard that term, especially me. I've heard that term a lot of times. But yeah, the term we sort of need to translate that into more a pair of ears rather than a pair of bollocks, because if you want me to be honest, the only way bollocks should be sort of referred to is this situation, because it's bollocks. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking talk to your mates. It's a shit situation, but they should be, as I said, no one's ever sort of too busy to not have a conversation with someone. And if they say they're too busy, then you, like I said, call bollocks on it because it's it's bullshit. But yeah, again, always here for a chat, no matter who you are. So literally feel free to message me and we'll have a little chat and it'll be good. And don't ever keep it in. That's what I did for a long time. I kept my sort of feelings in for a long time, and it's not a good thing to do. So yeah, sorry, I've talked for a long time there, but it's sort of something that needs to be said. So yeah, moving on to you. Yeah, no. So sort of moving on to university. We've moving into it. So you're a few days away. I'm also a few days away. How are you feeling mentally going into that? Because it's a big step, really.
Sorry, my Zoom's done that thing again.
Minimise me to like a little screen. Yeah. We should be good.
Yeah. Can't fix it. We'll leave it. How am I feeling? I'm unsure. I've got my timetable for it.
All right.
I feel fucking dreadful now for interrupting you with that sunglasses thing.
No. Let's be fair. It was a good joke. I'm just glad you didn't do it. I'm just glad I noticed quite early on, because otherwise I would have been talking about it, and then I would have seen you in sunglasses, and I think you would have realised it was inappropriate. So you would have had to sort of remove it subtly without the entire thing. So it sort of happened at a good time. It was a happy accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but go on. Sort of with uni, you've got timetable. Are you in much, or you?
I'm in one day. Well, I said 1 day, 2 hours.
Right, and that's it. And then you sort of got to do the rest at home.
Yeah, that's the. Sorry. Yeah, that's the plan. It is 3 hours there, and then the rest is online learning. So it's 3 days, like 2 days online, 1 day there. Which I mean, I don't know how that'll work, because it'd be weird meeting people in a web like chat and then having to meet them in person. Like, oh, damn, Lewis, yeah, you saw me on a webcam 2 days ago.
Weird. Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? A lot of people. I mean, there's going to be a pressure now. What did you say? What did you say? Okay, I'll leave it. I couldn't tell because you started laughing halfway through. I'll leave him in a pile of hysterics. He'll compose himself in a second. But sort of, Zoom's going to be a weird way to sort of do it now. With what are you laughing at? I want to. You can just tell me now. And I'll edit it out. Are you on mute? Yeah. Thought you were. No, while he's laughing, what I'll do is I'll just say that sort of I'm moving away. Anxiety, is it through the roof? Potentially. I'm a bit anxious for it. He's still fucking laughing. He's still laughing. Oh, I'm so glad you didn't do it before I did that bit, because that would have been even worse. Oh, mate, what? Right, okay. Yeah, no, I'm anxious about uni. Sort of, it's a big step. I'm moving quite a long way away from home, away from sort of family, friends, sort of everything that I've known for like the last 18 years is now gone, and that's going to be extremely tough to sort of get my head around to begin with. But it's difficult to sort of do this stuff because I haven't sort of lived through it yet. So it's weird. This will be sort of more of a time capsule than anything else. Sort of seeing it and reviewing it later on in life and seeing how anxious I was with uni will be something that'll be interesting to look back on and sort of go, well, actually, you probably shouldn't have been worried. Or maybe the worry is justified. But with Corona, it's definitely taken a toll on it. And whilst we've sort of gone and talked about that, and we will go on to talk about it more sort of in later episodes, it's going to be an extremely weird thing, sort of meeting people over Zoom and online, which a lot of people will say that's the future anyway. But it's a weird thing to have that sort of social interaction removed. Lewis, I think we have you back.
Yeah.
Back from the realm of eternal laughter. So
Yeah.
let's get your opinion. So you were talking about we were talking about uni, and I want to get your opinion, sort of different aspects of uni life, how you're feeling towards it. You still don't seem like you've recovered. I mean, I always say these podcasts are a shambles, but
I need to forget what I said.
see, this is why you didn't want to tell me, isn't it? Because then you would have just reminded yourself of what you said. I'll hear it in the edit anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, you'll love it. Right, what did you ask me? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not in serious frame of mind.
Let's talk about uni. So let's talk about certain things that you're anxious about. How do you feel about cooking at uni? Is that something that you? What are you laughing about now? Is it that question, or is it the thing that you're?
I won't be cooking at uni. I'm not living there. So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit! I've literally just remembered that.
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell! You've ruined all my questions now. Well done.
No, you didn't
Crossing them off.
remember.
No, I did. I remembered. It's just
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. No, let's
So
talk
sorry
about
for laughing.
sort of, okay, let's talk about Zoom. All right. How you
Zoom.
feeling about sort of meeting people in real life? Sort of, a lot of people get anxious over that. So sort of talking to people online and then sort of meeting them in real life. It's gonna be a weird thing.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I think some new faces, new people to meet. Because I've been to Leeds to see my mate who lives in Leeds because he goes to uni there, and it's just kind of nice, like bumping into people. Like obviously I don't know, but he's bumping into people. Like, oh, you're right, mate. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sorry, the other night type thing. You live in my flat. Obviously I won't have that, but like, oh, you're doing business type thing. So that'd be quite a nice thing. It's like walking around Leeds, and it's not, and then you bumping into people. That's quite cool, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. So with
But,
sort of meeting socially is gonna be a weird sort of deal.
yeah.
Do you feel sort of in a way that you're home and you're not living in that accommodation? How are you feeling about that? Because that's a bit like
Yeah, it's not like
unorthodox
I've
in a
been.
way. Because I know people that have done it, and they seem to be doing fine. But it's a way that sort of So is that the plan for the 3 years, or because I remember you
Well, we'll
saying
see.
something
I
like
just
it
kind of
wasn't.
I wanted to play it by ear and kind of see because like at Christmas, I think there'll be an opportunity to like move in if I really want to. If I feel kind of isolated and whatever, I'll try and find a place in Leeds because I think a lot of people at Christmas might drop out and just be like, no, I'm not about learning things on webcam. I'll give it a year and wait for actual classes to start. 'Cause some people just won't be able to learn like that, which is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Some people just won't be able to take anything in looking at a bloke on a webcam.
The problem is, right, with this corona stuff is a lot of it's gone online and a lot of people have been put off by that. But the idea of sort of putting off a year of my entire life just to sort of in the chance that sort of the next year will be better, sort of it's an idea that sort of it played in my mind, but in the end of the day, like I don't want to delay my life by a year. Do you know what I mean? Like that's sort of just a year of your life where you're sort of just putting off something just for the sake of the situation. Like I'd rather just get it done. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just, and that's not me saying I'd just rather get university done because I don't want to do it. Because I want to do university so bad. It's something you sort of build your life up to. Sort of you want to do your entire life. But like with uni, it's just something I wanted to just, I don't want to put it off a year because I want to get into what I want to do as quickly as possible. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm passionate about what I want to do. And sort of the idea of putting it off really doesn't set right with me. Did you have any ideas of like postponing your sort of education because of the situation?
No, I wanted to do it kind of whatever it kind of like same as you. Like I wanted to do it whatever. That sounds cringy to say whatever it takes, but whether I was going to live there or not, I mean, I'm not that bothered about not living there. I think at the minute, I mean, although obviously you miss out on things not living there, but I think living there, it can cause issues. I mean, they're on about people, the uni students, not being able to come home for Christmas, which would be kind of sad.
I know, which is
a
a bit mental. I've heard that news, and obviously, I'm not going to be very, very close from home. when I go down.
Yeah, you know, you
So-
are literally at the other end of the country.
Yeah, so it's going to be a bit mental when I sort of go down there, and if they tell me that
Your
I
own
can't
fault.
come back, and I'm there over Christmas, that'll be tragic. But you know what?
£7
You
per
only
parcel.
live once. You only live once, and as long as I'm doing what I want to do, I reckon I'll be all right. And
Yeah.
and you know that's the sort of attitude that I sort of want people to go into uni with. Sort of, you know, remember why you're going in. That's what sort of when people give up and stuff, you usually forget the reason why you did it in the first place.
Yeah.
And usually
no, I
the
agree.
reason why you do it in the first place is because you want to reach a certain goal. You want to sort of do, you know, same thing with sort of, we can apply this to sort of in a way to sort of to fitness. So, you know, you start a goal and you'll be giving up because you can't be bothered. You've got to remember the reason why you started. And usually when I do that, that's what keeps me going. Is, you know, sort of some days I'll you know, sort of, I can't be bothered doing any sort of exercise. You know, it's been one of those days. But then I think about the reason why I started, sort of wanting to get more physical, and all of a sudden it sort of comes to me, and I go, right, okay, then I probably should be doing it. And so it, just never forget the reasons why you want to do something. And same thing can be sort of applied to uni, and sort of the reason why you want to do it. You know, the reason I'm doing it is because I want to create shit. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be in a creative environment, hopefully, even if it's sort of a different environment to usual. So yeah, a lot of people are getting sort of anxiety about sort of the way the social distance is going around, and sort of not being able to get enough sort of attention from people. I'm expecting the numbers to go up this year, about numbers with people seeking help at universities. You know, I mean, I suppose your uni's got quite a good network and a good sort of a sort of point you can sort of reach if you're sort of feeling anxious. Most universities do nowadays, but I imagine they'll be quite overwhelmed this year.
Definitely.
Because of the situation, especially people sort of in the environments they're not used to. Which, like I said earlier, is sort of something about, you know, always being there for each other, always giving your mates a sort of the idea that you're only a call away is very, very important. Very, very important. I know people, and I'm not going to go and name names, I'm not going to go into sort of really anecdotal stories, but I know people that have gone away this year and sort of really felt this sort of the anxiety of all, and really are really suffering. And it's difficult to see, but as long as you can sort of be there for them and reassure them that it's going to be all right, and you don't have to have lived it to sort of give that advice. That's the thing. I see that quite a bit. A lot of people go, you have to sort of have had the experience or had this sort of, you know, uni experience to sort of give advice on something like this. But, you know, you don't have to. You don't have to sort of. That's like saying, you know, oh, you know, professional footballer's going out and he's nervous as shit, but you've never played in the Premier League, but he has. Well, what are you supposed to do before you can give advice? Be signed to a Premier League? No, you just sort of you give advice on the front that you know it's going to make them feel better. So
I mean, Aston Villa will probably buy you, but
they probably would. I mean, I'd probably get signed for anybody really. I've had multiple offers. You know, Liverpool. Klopp is constantly ringing me. He's going, "Why you keep declining my calls, mate?" And I'm like, sorry, my heart's not there. My heart's not in that club. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I had trials at West Ham, but I had to give up. So.
I do hope that's a Jake Cartwright reference. But but yeah, no, it's just be there for your mates. It's difficult with a subject like this because we're sort of on the front of it, on the brink of sort of going to uni. So it's difficult. We can't really give too much preaching. We can just talk about our sort of experiences at the moment. You know, the podcast is always, and I think will always sort of be based and sort of more for the people that are our generation, because it'll be more relatable to them in a way, because we're sort of talking from that sort of level of angst that they're probably feeling as well. Like, I've always said it's universal because mental health is universal, but we can only sort of talk about the experiences that we've had. We're not going to make them up. Do you know what I mean? And unless I get somebody on the podcast that's sort of been through those situations, then it's difficult to sort of relate to certain topics.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's as I said earlier, always only a message away, and my socials have already been mentioned, but also the Twitter has also been set up soon, hopefully, so you can message them there if you're on Twitter, and I imagine that'll be like Talking Head podcast as well. But yeah, let's just sort of round it up. So going back to uni, with uni, are you optimistic it's going to go back to normal, like sort of next year at uni?
Yeah, I think it's possibly. Yeah, I think I'm optimistic. I think you've got to be really.
Are you angry about sort of not getting freshers?
I mean, you can't miss what you've not had. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You can't like miss something you've not experienced, can you? Do you know what I mean? You can want it, but you can't, regret. Well, I mean, people have been going out anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, all my mates who've gone to uni and lived there, they pretty much had freshers. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't sound very different from what I've heard from my friends.
Freshers is this weird concept, isn't it? Where everybody goes on about freshers being this amazing experience, and that's what you always ever hear. And then sort of freshers is sort of the thing that a lot of people go for to get to uni for.
At the end of the day, it's just going out. At the end of the day, isn't it?
It is just going out, and it's just more of it's just got a name to it. Do you know what I mean? It's got a name to it.
Yeah, it's the first week of going out with new people.
It's slightly more cheaper. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're students, sort of.
That's what it should be called. First week of going out.
Things will be cheaper anyway, so it's all right. I'm looking forward to getting more student discounts. I'm looking forward to sort of properly being a student. I'm looking forward to getting that student experience. Yeah, exactly. Well, we had it with college, but it's not. It sort of feels a bit crummy, really. Not being at an actual uni.
It doesn't get away.
No, it doesn't. Oh, I have to fucking bleep that out now.
Oh shit!
I do that all the time. You know what the thing is? I reference stuff that sort of happened in my life all the time on a podcast. And there was a situation recently where I just sort of, you just as you naturally fall into natural conversation, it just comes out. So that's a good sign of a natural conversation. So it's not too bad. But
this is real, everyone. They're not characters.
Exactly.
Taylor is actually that witty in real life.
I'm just that. Yeah, exactly. All this it's not fake. It's not fake. It's genuinely.
Anyone who actually heard my comment from about 10 minutes ago where I laughed at my own joke, you'll understand. That one written, that one scripted. I came up with that off the top of my head.
See,
Taylor will hear it in post. Hopefully that makes it into the mix.
If I can't, then you'll have to tell me on message. But then you'll be reminded.
When are you going to edit this?
It comes out tomorrow, so it's going to be quickly.
Oh, you'll hear it straight. Oh, yeah, just look out for it. What was the build up to it? Oh yeah, something about. Well, I can remember it. Something about the webcam thing. The being seen on Zoom. Zoom got my timetable, my college, my uni timetable.
Yeah, there's something about that. College. And, it sort of bashed out of control.
Well, it wasn't bashed out of control. I made a comment, and then I thought about that comment, and then because you didn't hear it, it made it funnier.
You know what I think we should move on to, Lewis?
Go on.
The news.
I can't believe my luck.
I know. So welcome back, guys. We're coming back. So I've been saying also, obviously, we're going to be introducing these new formats. Let's make it interesting, right? So I said to Lewis right before this this podcast, I said I'm going to introduce a new sort of format, a new sort of I've lost the word. New segment. And this is going to be called the news, right? Okay, very interesting. What's the news going to be about, Lewis?
Hang on, let me just do some research. Research meaning I'm typing into my search bar. Funny world news this week. Funny world news this week.
All right.
Weird, funny, and strange and odd news stuff.
Basically, the reason why we're doing this is because I said to Lewis, I said I want to trial out these new segments, and you know what, add a bit of positivity, add a bit of wackiness to the podcast, right? Looks like he's found something wacky already. Do you want to read out the headline? I can always bleep
Parents
it.
accuse It's not the title, it's the image. Parents accused of child abuse over water skiing 60-month-old son. And it's the image of this little fella on a water ski.
I mean,
Cat owner
that's
is
something we
convinced
can laugh about.
Well, no, it's just a little fella on a water ski thing. Water skis, plural. The cat owner convinced pet is responding to them with a Northern Irish accent.
That's not real. That's not real.
That is real. That is real.
No. Oh my god.
What else we got?
Oh my god. So usually the way we can do this is that we can type in Texas man on Google, and it'll come up with a news story.
Florida man.
Florida, is it Florida? Well, Texas man, Florida man. It's the same bloody thing, right? You can usually type in Florida man, and it'll come up with something crazy. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are crazy stories, but anyway, guys, that was the news. So
I mean, I've got some news.
No, all right, he's got news. I've already given my news, and my news earlier was about the podcast. So you couldn't use it.
This isn't from a website. This is genuine news. Well, I actually saw it this week. It's kind of news, but it's just something I found out. I don't know when this was filmed. It's not really recent, old. But I don't know when it was filmed. It was a documentary I saw on Channel 5. Documentary I saw on Channel 5, the best channel.
Of course.
And it was about this Formula One driver in he was a midget Formula One driver in Brazil. And he was really good. He won lots of races. But he was really small, obviously, midget. And he never took his helmet off. He was a dwarf, actually, because he had people thought, they have a disproportionate head. That's what dwarf is, isn't it? If you watch The Office, you know. Dwarf is someone with disproportionate arms and legs.
Yep.
And a head. So people thought he always used to keep his helmet on and never take it off when he was on the podium, even when he'd win and he was spraying champagne everywhere. He never took his helmet off. And people thought he was... no, it is. And people thought it was... he was ashamed of it. And that's why people thought, people thought he was quite sad. He was ashamed of his... how he looked and stuff, which is sad because, he's been winning all these races.
Yeah.
He was winning all these... Why are you laughing?
No.
He was winning all these races, but he kept
It's so random.
He kept it.
The idea is you watch a documentary about this midget Italian race driver. Brazilian, sorry. Yeah, my apologies.
Yeah, and he was. Where was I? Yeah, he never took his helmet off because the people reckoned he was ashamed. He never spoke. He never did interviews. He won all these races. Even when he was winning all these races, you think, oh, he'd be dead proud here. He'll take his helmet off, get a picture. Like they always do. Never always kept it on. And on one day,
where's this story going? Where's it going? Because it could go in so many different directions.
No, this is going to get sad now. He got involved in a crash. His car span out. The wheels, and the wheels come off, and they fly off. The wheels just go. Crashed into the barriers. Car's on fire and that. They race over, they run over, don't they, to pull them out or whatever. It wasn't Formula One, it was like the low, like Formula 2 or like Formula 3. It wasn't like the big Formula One, he was a very good race driver. People say he could have been Formula One, but he was a midget, so they're not allowed. And then he got pulled out of the car, the burning wreckage, and they thought, oh, we'll have to take his helmet off, check he's all right. Take his helmet off, turns out, little monkey driver, and he was winning all the races.
That's not real.
And he was a little monkey.
That's not real.
Yeah, he was a little monkey.
That's not real. There's no way that's real.
It was a story that happened.
No, it isn't. It isn't a story that happened.
It was a story that happened. It was on telly.
That's not a real story. That's not a real story. There's no way that's real.
No,
No,
honestly, they
no, you've just made that up.
took his helmet off. Turns out, little monkey fella under there.
Oh, so that was what
He
is
was-
that the
he was a monkey.
story? Is that the story?
He's a monkey. He was running out. He was winning the races, yeah, but he never took his helmet off. That's why, because he was a monkey. Don't want to reveal it.
I fucking, you know what? I've just typed in monkey racing driver, and it's come up monkey news. Cal Pilkington, you Pillock, you've just had me on strings.
Yeah. Bit of monkey news. More monkey news next week. But the dwarf bit I made up, and the Brazilian bit I made up as well. And the watching it on Channel 5 bit, obviously.
I'm tempted to
Made that
believe
up.
this is actually a real story.
Made that up. No, it's a story that happened. There's a little monkey fella under there.
I'm having a look. This seems like an actual story because there's a lot of stuff that's gone on here. I'm having a look. I don't know if it's real, but I'm literally looking right now, and there's an article written in 2013 about a monkey. Oh, maybe it's a co-driver. Maybe it wasn't.
It wasn't.
You know what? I knew it from the beginning, and I was like, there's no way he's actually telling the truth about this Channel 5 thing. Because I thought, even for Channel 5, that's shit.
I think just leave it in. And then bit more news next week. I'll come up with another story.
That's a. I mean, no, you're not coming up with them, mate. They're genuine stories.
No.
Come on, mate. Better than that.
Story. I'll just end it every time with story that happened.
It's a genuine
Cal's
story
reason.
that happened.
Cal's reason for everything. Yeah. But yeah, that was good though, wasn't it?
So that was the end of the news segment. I mean, my news sort of was just going to be a bit more tame than that. But you know what? I'm not even going to bother with my news now because I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's better. In fact, I'm looking at it. There is no news there.
Well, it's interesting.
Unless it happened this week.
Well, I saw it this week.
So it's topical.
I don't know when it happened. It didn't really say. The documentary didn't specify.
I'm just waiting for the Netflix documentary about it. Monkey King.
Yeah. So it's about a monkey who's really old, loads of piercings, and has a 20-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
And owns a zoo of people.
Yeah. Oh God. Something I don't want to watch now. You've ruined it. Anyway, moving on.
Directed by
back to. Oh, come on, mate. Oh, it was coming. It was coming. Inevitable at this point. Yeah, no, it's not the first time he's been brought up.
No.
Yeah, first reference in the podcast. Yeah. Oh my God, it's falling apart. You know what? We need this break. We need the hiatus. It's gonna come soon. But we want to wrap up this one. Let's talk university. Fuck me. Universities.
We have to go on mute again.
I've just got it. Oh no. Mate. Oh no. Oh dear. I mean, there's no point being on mute at this point because it's happened. Right.
Yeah. What was funny is how long it took you.
Yeah, no, it did take me a while because I'm in a serious mindset, and when you're in a serious mindset, you don't ever think, "Oh, a joke like that could be made," but it does. It happens. It comes out. Yeah, no, universities this year. Going to university is going to be mental this year, and we all sort of have to accept it. Going to be different for many different people. But you know what? The way we're going to get through it is just talking to each other. And I'm a firm believer in that. Do you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer. I'm waffling. Do you know what I mean? I'm waffling. All I'm saying is, look.
That is the podcast.
It is. These podcasts always are, but you know what?
Time to call it Taylor's Waffle House.
Why? Why? In fact, there's already a podcast called Waffling, so we can't do that, unfortunately.
Exactly. You could call your one waffling.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna go there, and the thing was,
Edit that out. Edit it.
yeah, no. Well, I am gonna. Well, oh no, I'll keep it in. Right. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. All right.
The podcast.
Oh, me. Oh, we can't have it. We can't. With anxiety and going to sort of do anything sort of fresh, and especially uni, we all sort of find or relax our minds through comfort. So what's your comfort? What's your comfort sort of whenever you're anxious? What do you sort of do? What sort of helps you calm? That's a question to you.
Sorry.
Not a statement.
What calms me
Too
down?
busy thinking about the F1, the monkey driver.
Yeah. What do you say? What calms me down? Sorry.
What calms you down? What's your like comfort food? What's your comfort for the mind?
Comfort of the mind. I don't know. Watching something I like, which is there's like a list bigger than longer than my arm, or my knob, either one.
Oh mate, crumbly. Not be that long then.
Straight back 1-1.
2 lines at most, mate.
1.5.
Peep show in the office. That's it.
Well, I've also got Al Partridge. The thick of it. I've got back into that. The thick of it.
You can barely fit Alan on there, mate. No, let's stop.
You can just get Partridge.
Have to put it down to AP.
AP, TO for the office. Peep show, PS.
Oh, tragic.
Thick
Anyway,
of it, I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Still talking about my knob.
Oh. Was that a joke about the thick of it or no? Okay.
No, but why have you thought of that?
No, because I thought it was. Yeah.
But I don't know. I enjoy. It calms me down playing the old instruments. It calms me down. Yeah, really.
Right, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I've again, probably for me, movies, TV, sort of stuff that I like. A good thing I always watch when I'm sort of depressed is Partridge and The Office.
Top Gear. Actually.
Top Gear. Yeah, that's actually a good one. I actually watched that when I was sort of genuinely, I was going through a time.
Because I remember telling you to.
Yeah. You told me.
It's comfort food for the soul. Get a bit of Top Gear.
Exactly, and it
Because
did.
it's
I watched the American special. When they go, when they go and they've shot on the sign. That is one of the best, and it's on Netflix, so you've got no excuse.
It is on Netflix. You've got no excuse to not watch. If you've got access to Netflix, please, if you're going to watch anything, watch Top Gear USA special from 2008.
Yeah,
you'll never hear the words "Oi, jump lead" ever again without laughing.
There are so many curse moments in that.
Just that one where it like pans out and you can see Richard look really small in front of the petrol station. He goes, "We're gonna die now." That's infant Hammond as well, isn't it? He's baby Hammond.
I know, with a little trim, little girl,
little cowboy out.
Right.
That one where Jeremy installed like a shower head in his car to stay cool because the aircon's broke.
Yeah,
like shower head constantly pouring water on his head.
That's leaking everywhere. I've enjoyed the podcast today. It's been again waffling, but it always is, and we do need a good waffle after all.
This is the least focused I've ever been on anything ever, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I've been sort of drinking a bit, but it doesn't matter.
Really
I'm off to uni. I'm living the lifestyle already. What you say?
Yeah. I've had about 5 hours of sleep. That's probably not helped.
Oh, that's actually quite depressing, mate. Way down to bring the mood. Well done, mate. Well done. We're trying to end the podcast on a positive. You're trying
to you
jeopardise the positivity.
Really bring up like, I don't know, something really depressing. I'll put sunglasses on again.
All right. So, are you actually going to do it, or you just?
No.
Oh, fuming. I mean, it's not.
Because I put them on and you'd probably bring up, like, I don't know, the water aid or something. I can't do that.
Yeah. Thanks to our sponsor this week.
Water aid? No. They aren't sponsoring us. If you've made it this far, well done. Well done. The Water Aid podcast.
Talking Head podcast sponsored by WaterAid. I know. So, thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back soon. Next week will be a special episode. So look forward to that. A proper special, hard edited not video. Well, it'll be a video on YouTube, but podcast will be coming out next week. I look forward to seeing there. We've put a lot of effort into it, and you'll see why when it comes out, because it's not just not your bog standard podcast. It's a proper podcast with dare I say it, a few different voices rather than just two. Interesting. Anyway, I will see you hopefully next week, and it's a great time to sort of get involved and engage in the podcast, because we're sort of, whilst we're also ending it, we are coming back bigger and better than ever, and a lot of things are going on behind the scenes which I can't talk about, but they are happening, and you should definitely look forward to that. I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for listening, and thank you to Lewis for coming on. I'm not going to ask if you want to plug anything, because again, last time I asked you that, you had nothing. Boring.
Only thing I want to plug is I promise I'll not be on this again.
So,
just for the listeners.
Thing is, obviously,
for the sake of the listeners.
Obviously, we're doing this podcast next week, and then obviously we're coming back. But it'd be great to sort of have a podcast in reflection to this one, sort of saying, okay, how is uni, and sort of how we're dealing with it and stuff like that. And also just talk about the situation when it's like them, because it's nice to have little catch-ups. And you know what? If you can get a podcast out of it and people enjoy it, you might as well. So, it's been lovely speaking to you today. And, thank you for listening. And see you in the next one for next week, which is a very, very special one.
Stampy Longnose.
Why do you have to ruin it right at this last second? Literally, it was going so swimmingly. I say that in comparison to the rest of the podcast, it's gone swimmingly. But I think we probably got the most amount of bleeps we're gonna have to do yet. But it is what it is. How does Stampy Longhead sign out his videos?
I think he gets his whip and his chain out.
Oh, mate. No.
His ballistic squid out the cupboard.
I've just got this image.
It's it's not. It's not just
Dan...
creepers he's got in his bedroom.
He's got Dan TDM in there as well.
Oh. He's got the blue haired bloke.
Yeah. Have you seen that video of that kid asking to go back to his house?
Yeah.
For tea.
Yeah.
Where's he now? I'm speaking to him live on Zoom. Hello, Lewis.
Hang on.
Hang on. You don't remember it. I do.
Steady.
Dan does. Anyway, moving on to the ending of right. Just you know what, guys. I'll just see you in the next one. Peace out. And look, honestly, message your mates, because that's what we need to do. Right. Cheers. See you later.